the difference between the cases? You want me to explain it again? When I want to kill, I use my very own special scissors. And I use those same scissors to arrange the body. But Chihiro was suspended with... It was some kind of rope. Was it not?
That's right! It absolutely was!
Then there must be something very fishy indeed about that rope.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope before in my life.
Oh, yes, you had. It was from the desk lamp, and that's how we know.
Actually, I'm pretty sure you have seen it before. Because, you see, that rope, or should I say, that extension cord?
Oh, damn.
An extension cord?
Yep.
Byakuya, you've used the extension cord in the library more than once, haven't you? And the same extension cord that was in the library all this time went missing after the murder.
Oh.
And there's no way someone who uses that extension cord as much as you do wouldn't discover that fact.
And Byakuya must be the one who took the extension cord. I can't imagine any other possibility.
That's really what you think? Then your conclusion is something like this? I killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, then hung her up and wrote that bloody message. I intentionally made it look like Genocide Jack was behind it. Is that about right?
That's about it. You're doing it. It's totally calm, totally unconcerned. Not even involved. Wait, not even involved.
What's wrong? I asked you if you think that's what happened.
Hell yes, that's what happened. So that's it, right? Byakuya's the killer.
I don't disagree with not disagreeing.
He kept calling this a game, right? So he'd be totally willing to do something like this to win.
You would.
Sorry, but could we hold on just a second? I think we need to talk about this a little more.
Yeah, even though it just clearly made this case against him.
Do we really need to? We've already decided who did it.
I know, but still, there's something that's still bothering me.
Is that right? And what, pray tell, is still bothering you? I killed her in the girls' locker room, then disguised my crime. Specifically, I dressed it up to make it look like it was the work of a homicidal psychopath. What about all that bothers you?
Well, wait. Was that just now? Something's not right. Sheriff's body was definitely found at the slum, but does that mean you just accept what Byakuya said is the truth? No, I don't think so. There's something definitely off about what he said. The scene of the crime. The posters and like everything, there was something's different.
You killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, right? But are you sure about that? Isn't it possible that the murder took place somewhere else?
How disappointing. What kind of question is that? Even in the world of disappointments, this is a true letdown. She was found dead in the girls' locker room. There is absolutely no question about that. How could the scene of the crime have been anywhere else?
Well, I think it's entirely possible that she was killed somewhere else, then carried there later, along with the rest of the murder scene.
Say what?
Rest of the murder scene? That was awfully specific. Please tell me you have a reason for saying all of it.
I believe I do.
Did you just take you off guard? Tori suddenly moved to the crime scene. Byakuya, who'd been so confident up until now. Maybe Byakuya never realized the actual scene of the crime could have been somewhere else.
Don't just move on without permission! What do you mean she was killed somewhere else?
Come on, Makoto. If there's any chance the murder took place somewhere else, let's see the proof.
The posters and the coffee stain carpet.
I got it!
Posters.
The proof that she was killed somewhere else is the poster that's hanging in each locker room.
Oh.
Your proof is some posters?
The poster in the girls' locker room was a picture of a big-boobed supermodel. But don't you think that's kind of strange?
Just a little
Why would
bit.
the girls' locker room have a poster like that?
I bet those massive jugs of hers were totally fake!
Hey, never know.
Meanwhile,
Might not
boys'
be.
locker room had a poster of the super popular boy band Tornado.
They definitely look like anime protagonists. Maybe some from Yu-Gi-Oh! Almost.
That doesn't really seem to belong in a boys' locker room.
So you're saying that maybe the posters were switched?
And there's one other thing I noticed about the locker rooms. You know what I'm talking about, right, Sakura?
You're referring to my protein coffee, aren't you?
Yeah.
Protein coffee?
While I was in the girls' locker room earlier, I spilled some protein coffee on the carpet. But
Yep.
I noticed that after the murder, the stain had been totally scrubbed away.
No. If we go down, yeah. It was in the boys' locker room.
The stain on the girls' locker room carpet wasn't scrubbed away. In fact, I found it on the boys' locker room carpet.
Say what?
Definitely the stain from my protein coffee.
How could you even see this right now?
Does that mean that the carpets were switched too? But why would anyone do that?
To move the murder scene from one locker room to the other. It's certainly plausible, don't you think?
Yeah.
In other words, in order to completely swap the scene of the crime, the blood-stained poster and carpet were moved along with the dead body. By doing this, the killer was able to change the entire room where the murder took place.
That's
I
clever.
can
That's
certainly
clever.
follow your reasoning, but why would the culprit bother doing that?
Huh?
Why would they go through all that trouble of switching the scene of the crime? Actually,
Good point.
an even bigger question. If the murder did take place in the boys' locker room, then how did Chihiro get in the boys' locker room in the first place?
Good
To
point.
get into the locker rooms, you have to swipe your e-handbook across the card reader device. But Chihiro's handbook should have only allowed her access to the girls' locker room. She had no way to get into the boys' locker room to begin with.
No, she did have a way, and I can tell you what it was.
I
Oh,
highly doubt that.
Shut up! I'm telling you, I know how she could have done it.
come on, Hakakure. It was the mailbox with all the different IDs in it.
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah! I got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook! She was the ultimate
Oops.
programmer, after all. I'm
It's
sure
broken.
that would have been no problem for her.
No, I don't think that's it. She used the thing that was in the main hall.
What then?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course.
No, that's wrong.
Ah. Leon's
No,
handbook's broken.
I don't think Chihiro used Leon's handbook.
Why not?
Because Leon's handbook was broken.
Oh. Well, then, yeah, I guess that'd be pretty impossible, huh?
Yep.
I'm struck silent by how quickly you gave up.
Plus, isn't there a regulation against using someone else's handbook?
Ah, no, that's the
Actually,
loophole.
the rule states that loaning your handbook is prohibited. It says nothing about borrowing one. In other words, you could borrow a dead person's handbook all you want, and you'd be safe.
Oh-ho-ho.
Hit the nail square on the noggin!
I love the word noggin.
Of course, if it were broken, that wouldn't make any sense anyway.
So then, she must have hacked hers, like I said. She used her ultimate programmer skills and...
You can't fix an e-handbook. The instant you open one up, a security buzzer starts blaring.
So, if she didn't use Leon's handbook, and she didn't modify her own handbook,
Maybe Mr. Naegi's initial assumption is just wrong?
It seems like there's no way she could have got into the boys' locker room. So I guess so.
Kyoko, is this the point where you come out and
Okay,
help
then,
me?
I vote for Byakuya.
Is that it then? She was killed in the girls' locker room, and Byakuya's the one who did it? Really? Still, I don't know what else I can do.
Hold on a second.
Yes!
I agree with you, though. I think you're on the right track.
What the? You finally decide to open your mouth and that's what you've got to say? There's no way she could get in the boys' locker room, right? So,
Why are you so sure she couldn't get in? There's still one other way she could have gained access.
And what is that?
What are you talking about? What other way is there?
Well, to explain that, why don't we take a little break from the trial? I'd like you all to come see something.
Wait. Just what do you think you're doing?
Don't
Okay.
worry. This'll make the whole trial more exciting. I'm sure that thought must please you.
Huh?
Okay.
It'll make things more exciting? Well, all right then. I declare an official class trial recess.
Alright.
For real?
Now then, what is it you want to show us? It better not be boring or I'll be very unhappy.
Oh,
Okay.
I have no doubt it'll meet your lofty expectations. So, shall we go?
Okay, Kyoko, where are we going? Your ceremony class trial will be put on hold. Head off with Kyoko in the lead, in which took us was the locker room.
The girls' locker room?
We've already searched this place top to bottom. What are you trying to pull, Missy?
Okay.
I'd like you to examine the victim's body one more time.
check it
Be
again.
sure to examine the entire body very carefully. Take your time.
Examine her carefully? Like using our hands?
Yamada no.
Wait, no, wait, no, wait, no, wait, no, wait!
It's probably best if I don't run my hands all over a girl's dead body.
Yeah.
It's not that I'm creeped out or anything, it's just based on religious grounds, you know?
Very well. I'll do it.
Go
But
Sakura.
you're a girl. You shouldn't have to touch a dead body. Just let one of the boys do it.
No, it's okay. I think Chihiro would rather have a girl examine her.
I'm
So
sure she
just
would.
leave this to me.
Sakura.
Sakura, I love you.
What is this? Some kind of secret girl-on-girl action? Is that what you two are about? That's not it at all. Stop screwing around.
Okay.
Okay, here I go. I'm sorry, Chihiro. Please excuse the intrusion.
I'm sure she'll be okay. Then Sakura has quietly examined her
Be
body.
sure to check her entire body, and I believe we will solve this particular mystery.
Why don't you just tell us instead of being so
Her
full of
entire
riddles?
body? I know you say that, but... What? This is... What is this...
What is it?
Not possible. It's not possible.
Sakura's eyes were staring wildly at Chihiro's lifeless form. Her massive frame trembled.
This girl is
Is what?
a boy.
Say what?
Ah, I see. So she was actually a he. Interesting. Thank you for confirming this fact.
You're joking, right?
I wouldn't joke about this.
Why are you like going Super Saiyan right now?
Then it's really true?
Chihiro was a guy?
Damn.
Oh, what? You guys didn't know? Heck, I knew that right off the bat.
Of course you would.
Misaki was totally a guy.
He was a cross-dresser? Oh, I'm really on fire! I wish I had killed him!
Oh, shut up.
So that's what Kyoko wanted to show everyone, huh? Interesting.
Okay.
Yes, that certainly does make things much more exciting.
Okay.
Now let's ride this wave of excitement back to the courtroom and get back to the trial.
Alright.
Ahem. I do apologize for keeping you waiting. Now then, let's resume the class trial. We've all just learned of the shocking revelation that Chihiro was actually a boy. Let's pick up from there.
I want
Yes,
no abuse in the
well.
comments.
I don't know his reason for hiding it, but the fact is, Chihiro was not a girl, but a boy.
Chihiro was actually a guy. Thought it never even crossed my mind.
And because the victim was male, he would have had no problem gaining access to the boys' locker room.
Yeah, that's true.
Assuming his handbook did, in fact, list his gender as male, then yes, that would be true.
Of course his handbook said he was a boy. He dressed like a girl, but he was a boy through and through.
So
Okay.
then, there should be no issue with Makoto's initial assertion.
Okay,
The
so
victim was killed in the boys' locker room, and was then later moved to the girls' locker room.
to hide the fact that Chihiro was a guy.
And the
Right.
killer could have easily used Sayaka or Junko's handbook to get into the girls' locker room.
Because they both were.
Chihiro really was killed in the boys' locker room?
I still don't understand the motive for moving the body, but yes, that does seem plausible.
Well, I must admit, I did find it rather odd. I knew he felt a little off. There was a certain incongruity to his female body.
This is the most titillating situation!
Oh, shut up, Jill.
So
Inside
now
Jill.
everything has been connected. All the mysteries have finally become clear.
Not all
Okay,
of
well,
them.
connected or clear or whatever. We still think you're the killer, remember?
Yeah, we are just fucking with us.
Very interesting. This has become very interesting indeed.
He's off in his own little world.
I
What
really
about
don't like
you,
Byakuya.
Makoto? After everything we've learned, do you still think Byakuya's the killer?
Well, without a doubt, Byakuya is the one that made Chihiro's death look like Genocide Jack did it. But
Yeah.
I think he might not actually be the killer after all.
What? But aren't you the one who accused him in the first place?
He
Yeah.
just seems to be too easygoing about all this. Like he's enjoying us solving the mystery. The way he's acting, it makes it seem like it doesn't have anything to do with him.
Got a point.
that might be because it doesn't have anything to do with him?
Yeah.
Plus, the evidence he left behind was a little too... how can I put it? Overt.
Yeah.
He consciously chose to use the extension cord, knowing it could connect him to the murder. At least,
Yeah.
that's how I see it. And Byakuya, when you found out the murder took place in the boys' locker room, it seemed to rattle you. And then again, when you found out Chihiro was actually a guy, if you really were the killer, that stuff wouldn't have had any effect on you.
So that's your thinking, huh? Well, it bothers me that you don't have more concrete reasons, but it's fine. I guess I'll mark it as correct for the time being.
Yeah, he was fucking with
Mark
us.
it as correct?
He's right. I am not the culprit. I just happened to come across the corpse in the girls' locker room and decided to alter it.
Are you fucking with us right now?
No, I am not effing with you right now. I'm telling you the truth.
Well, I find it very hard to believe.
Go ahead.
Why would you do
Find
that?
it very hard to believe. You're free to be executed along with the rest of us.
If you're really telling the truth, then why? Why do you do that to his body?
My reasons hardly matter right now. Uncovering the culprit is much more important, wouldn't you say? Now then, if it wasn't me, who was it?
Well, I don't think I can say for sure without talking about it a little more.
We're seriously gonna keep going? We're all good, aren't we? I thought it was clear Byakuya did it.
Yeah,
No,
he's just fucking
I'm with
everyone.
Makoto. If there's any doubt whatsoever, we need to explore every possibility.
Exactly, it needs to
Because
be
if we're wrong,
100%.
We all die here.
Except for Lakin.
Very well then. I'm with you too.
Damn
Good.
straight. Count me in.
Do you
Alright.
not have a mind of your own?
Of course I do. What am I, an ant or something?
Anyway, let's discuss this all as a group one more time. We still have time to make our decision.
That's very true.
Our lives are all on the line.
Excellent. Then shall we resume our game of hide and seek?
You don't get to talk anymore. Who's the real killer? Who murdered Chihiro? Know about the killer. He was able to gain access to the real murder scene, which means the killer was a guy. Since the crime scene was the boys' locker room, you would need a boys' handbook to get in. Since Leon's handbook is apparently broken, the killer would have to use their own. In other words, it has to have been a guy. Need to find more clues. Celeste's accounts. Oh, that Chihiro was going to work out.
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Well, clues are one thing, but did nobody get a look at the killer?
I'm sure if someone saw the killer, they would have said something by now.
Yeah.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even that might be enough for now.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
Damn it.
Shoot!
Damn it!
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Well, clues are one thing, but did nobody get a look at the killer?
I'm sure if someone saw the killer, they would have said something by now.
Come on.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even that might be enough for now.
Good. Come on.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
It's over. It's all over.
It's not over yet.
You want to know who saw the victim? The killer. And only the killer.
Wrong.
No, it's wrong.
Celeste saw him. Saw Chihiro.
I believe someone else did see the victim before he was murdered. What do you think, Celeste?
Now that you mention it, yes, I did see him.
Huh? Really?
Oh, but I suppose only Makoto knows about this.
Yeah.
The rest of you had no idea, did you? That is why you're all making such ugly noises.
Oh, shut up, Celeste.
Just hurry up and tell us!
It was last night, right before nighttime. I saw Chihiro in the dormitory warehouse.
Uh-huh.
I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag. And then, I assumed, he headed off to exercise.
Yep.
A track jacket and a duffel bag? But we didn't find anything like that at the murder scene.
No,
It
we
seems
didn't.
likely that the culprit destroyed them to get rid of any evidence.
Yeah.
And that is when he said something that struck me as rather odd.
Like, oh, I'm kind of in a hurry.
Chihiro told me he was in a hurry. But why would he be in a hurry? Only if someone were waiting for him, I should think.
Oh, damn.
Mr. Fujisaki was on his way to meet with someone, and then they were going to work out together?
But Hina and I had invited him to exercise with us plenty of times, and he always declined.
Yeah.
Probably because he was afraid you'd find out the secret he was hiding, right?
He wouldn't be able to get into the locker
Which
room.
means that conversely, he must have trusted whoever he was meeting with very much. Enough so that he was willing to risk his secret being revealed.
What a marvelous friendship!
The point is, whoever he met up with is the culprit, right? So we just gotta figure out who it was.
Yeah.
Knowing what we know, I can't even guess.
No. You already have what you need to make the connection.
We do?
Huh?
You know who the killer is.
Seriously?
Who is it? Who's the killer?
Think back to the track jacket and duffel bag the killer disposed of. Focus on the details of these items, and it should become obvious who was waiting for him.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
You really think we can figure out who did it based on two pieces of evidence that we don't have?
What? You want to track down some fingerprints or something?
Even if we had the equipment for that, we wouldn't know how to use it.
I'm pretty sure Kyoko
As
would.
was noted, the evidence is already gone. There's nothing to get fingerprints from.
Maybe, but we can make certain inferences if we just take the time to talk it out.
Okay.
Easy for you to say, but fine. Celeste, did you notice anything special about the bag or jacket? The bag was just a normal duffel bag from the warehouse. All the bags in there are the same, so I can't imagine what would make that one special.
Okay.
Well, if I remember right, there was a decent variety of tracksuits to choose from. Do
Okay.
you think there might be some connection between the culprit and Chihiro's jacket?
Perhaps. Let's explore that and talk a bit more about the jacket he took.
Okay. You know some clue about the killer somehow is really hard to believe. I'm so lost right now. So Celeste's account again.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise.
Yes.
So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
Because it was
What do you
blue
mean, the
and
specific
manly.
tracksuit? I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him?
No, that's wrong. Hold on a second, Mondo. What did you just say?
Oh.
What'd I say?
When Celeste testified a few minutes ago, she said,
So it's like a track jacket and a duffel bag, and then assume we had enough to exercise.
she never said anything about the jacket's color.
Oh,
So why
boy.
did you say Chihiro's blue tracksuit?
What are you? You just...
Hey, Celeste, what color was Chihiro's tracksuit?
As a matter of fact, it was blue.
Before we began the trial, did you tell anyone that?
The only one I told about any of this was you.
Then, Mondo, how did you know what color Chihiro's tracksuit was?
Oh,
Because
he done goofed.
I'm sure he saw the clothes at some point in the investigation.
No, that can't be it. The bag and clothes were surely disposed of by the time we began our investigation.
Then the only reason he could have known what color the tracksuit was is if he saw Cherry with it before he died. That's the only possibility.
Cherry.
Are you talking about Chihiro?
So, how about it? Did you see the tracksuit or didn't you?
Oh my. What is your tongue doing? It's doing a loop-de-loop.
Just by chance. I just happened to see it last night. He walked past me, and he was carrying the tracksuit in his hands.
No, that can't be it either. According to Celeste's testimony,
So hurry, it was almost like she was trying to hide it. Now she was gone.
when Celeste noticed it, Chihiro made a point of making sure the jacket was completely in the bag. If you just ran into him briefly, you couldn't possibly have seen what color the tracksuit was.
It would appear you've dug your own grave.
Perhaps. But you handed him the shovel, didn't you? That's why you said what you did. Focus on the tracksuit and it'll be obvious who he met with? What a bunch of nonsense.
Ah, now I understand. It was all one big bluff, wasn't it? Your true intention was to draw a slip of the tongue from the culprit. That's why you said you knew he did it, to put them on edge.
That's right. However, Mondo was my target all along. I had my suspicions about him from the very beginning.
Oh.
What made you so suspicious?
That's a good question.
The way he was acting?
There was a certain turning point. Maybe you didn't notice it, Mondo, but you tend to refer to men and women differently. You only call guys dude. For girls, it's chick. And after he was killed, you happened to refer to him as dude. Once I picked up on that, it occurred to me that Mondo knew something we didn't.
Ah.
You notice such a tiny detail?
Are you a witch? She's a witch! You're positively frightful.
You're the witch!
No, I'm not the frightful one. Not nearly as frightful as someone capable of murdering a friend.
Yeah.
Mondo, was it really you? Did you really kill Chihiro?
I didn't kill anyone! You've been all over me, judging everything I say, putting words in my mouth. What gives you the right to treat me like a goddamn criminal?
Yeah,
Okay.
he would never do something like that. This is a false accusation.
You stay out of
It's
this.
true. My reasoning on that is pretty shaky.
Yeah.
That was fast.
Well, this does present us with a problem. It seems we are all out of leads.
Oh, we.
My time has nearly come. That's
Okay, what
my
is it?
little ghost friend is telling me.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Hifumi, weren't you telling me you found some evidence?
Really? What kind of evidence?
Actually, now that I'm thinking about it here calmly, it might not be all that relevant.
Just say it anyway.
Jeez, does your confidence just get up and walk away? It's fine, man. Just tell us.
If you really insist, then...
Yes.
Here it is.
What do you have there?
It happens to be an e-handbook. I found it laying on the ground, so I scooped it up.
Okay. Ground, right? Must belong to Chihiro.
Done! We know Chihiro's handbook was missing from the scene of the crime, right?
For a
Yes.
fact.
For a fact indeed. I was totally sure I'd found it.
But it must hold some clue about the culprit, right?
Well, that's what I was hoping. But it's busted. It won't even turn on.
I imagine the culprit broke it to get rid of any evidence after the murder.
That's odd. I didn't think the handbooks were quite so fragile.
You're right. They're not. They're totally waterproof and shock resistant. It would take an awful lot to break one.
Yeah.
This one does appear to be broken, as is Leon's, sitting useless in the main hall. For all your confidence, that is a remarkably high failure rate.
Yeah, two 2, 4.
Do you think there might be some kind of mystery in there somewhere?
Oh god.
How precisely did the handbooks get broken?
Handbook break is only one possible explanation. By hitting its weak point. You mentioned that there was a weak
You
point.
already told us before that the handbook has one weak point, didn't you?
Yeah! You remember that?
Oh yes.
Sure, maybe I let that slip, but I never told anyone what the weak point actually was.
But if the handbook is supposed to never break, and 2 of them broke in quick succession, then
Someone
Then
discovered
we
it.
can only assume that someone's figured out its weakness. You know what the weakness is, right, Monokuma? So, what is it?
You're asking me?
I think it's a necessary piece of information if you want this to be a fair trial.
But
She got him
if I
there.
tell you, and someone else decides to copy it, that would be very not good.
Oh, shut up,
Tell us
Monokuma.
already! Why would we want to break our own handbooks?
To disguise evidence.
Oh well, I have a weakness for pushy demands. But you're sure you won't follow their example? Then
Cross
allow
our
me to
hearts,
make a
not hopes.
special announcement. The weak point of my cutting-edge e-handbook is... when it's exposed to high temperatures for too long, it will suffer a meltdown and totally break!
I flippin' knew it!
You knew it?
Yeah, because I found the handbook laying on the floor of the sauna.
The temperature in the sauna can reach over 200 degrees. Strange how you don't get burnt, huh? It's
Yes.
because as your sweat evaporates, it creates a cooling layer of air around your skin.
It's true.
If the hot
Yeah,
air
kind
of
of.
the sauna were somehow pushed directly onto your skin, you'd definitely get fried. That layer of air would get blown away. That's why you may feel a burning when you move around. So when you're in a sauna, make sure to keep nice and still.
Alright.
Interesting. I learned one new fact today.
Good for
That is
you.
a mere trifling speck of knowledge.